Hey everybody, welcome to another Wacky Wednesday on the Mana Leek. I'm John as always, and we have something wacky this week. We have Spooky Sealed. Last weekend was of course Halloween, so Wizards decided that on Magic Online they were going to do a spooky event for Halloween. So it's spooky, it's a phantom event. Ooh, that's not a great thing. That means we don't get to keep any of the cards that we open in the sealed event. But hey, phantom, Halloween, spooky, makes sense I guess. So what is Spooky Sealed? Well, we're going to get a pack of Dark Ascension and 2 packs of Innistrad, which are from the Innistrad block, which was a block where basically they said, hey, we need to make a horror block. We need to have werewolves and vampires and monsters and demons and devils and etc., and we'll figure out how the cards work from there. It was an amazing block. Innistrad being an amazing set. The Dark Ascension and Avacyn Restored were less good, but Innistrad was fantastic, and it was the block that got me back into Magic 3 or 4 years ago. But Sealed needs 6 packs. That's only 3 packs. So the other 3 packs are from Odyssey block. Odyssey, Legions, and Scourge, I believe. That's a block that came out way back in 2002, 12 years ago, which was 2 years after I had quit Magic. Way back when I was a teenager, or actually preteen at that point. I don't know anything about the block. I've never played with it. I've probably seen a card or 2 here or there, reprints or maybe commander cards or things like that, but I don't really know anything about the block. I had to even look up why it was spooky. It was spooky because a lot of the new mechanics were graveyard based. Threshold was in that set, Madness was in that set, Flashback originally appeared in that set. It came back for Innistrad. So I don't know anything about those 3 sets. But we're going to jump into this here before it fires, and we're going to see what Odyssey block has for us. I'm really going to hope that the Innistrad cards kind of guide me into what deck I'm going to build. And keep in mind, this is Phantom, meaning I don't get to keep these cards, so if I get a foil Liliana of the Veil, I'm not going to be terribly happy. It's going to go away. It's probably going to do me a lot of good in the tournament, but it's going to go away at the end. So here we are. I see Evil Twin already. That's one of our Innistrad rares. So let's sort by rarity. We have Curse of Misfortune. That is unfortunate. Curse of Misfortune is one of the curses from the Innistrad block, which means that I enchant a player with it, probably my opponent. At the beginning of their upkeep, actually this one I would... No, because I control it. Basically, it's to build the curse deck. It lets me go and search a curse and throw that curse onto them again. I would need a lot of curses for that to work, and that's just not going to happen in Limited. I can throw this far, far, far over here because we're not playing it. We've got Evil Twin, which is pretty decent. It's a clone, but slightly better. You can pay a little bit, tap it, and it destroys the original thing that it's cloning. The Evil Twin kills the non-Evil Twin. And our other one is Parallel Lives, which is also not very good. Unless Odyssey block happens to have a lot of tokens, this isn't very good. It gives you a second copy of a token if you do put a token into play. And what do we have? We have Nantuko Shrine, 1 green enchantment. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player puts X11 squirrel tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the number of cards in all graveyards with the same name as that spell. So no, we are not going to probably have multiples of anything, but we'll see. I also see Acorn Harvest here. Odyssey block must have been the squirrel block. That's pretty awesome. Retraced Image. Reveal a card in your hand, then put that card onto the battlefield if it has the same name as a permanent. What? Reveal a card in your hand, then put that card... Okay, so if you're playing... Oh, this is awful. These are constructed cards. So if I have a card in my hand that's already on the battlefield, I can put it into the battlefield for 1 blue. Also probably not going to happen. Things aren't looking very good. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game. Okay, I don't think we're playing our rares. I don't think we're playing them. Let me actually bring these down to the deck so that I can then sort by color. And then we'll see what happens, and we'll bring these back up. Oh, they just went into their color anyways. Lots of pain. All right, what's this land we have here? Nomad Stadium. Tap to add a white, so it's a plains that deals damage to me. If I have Threshold, which means if I have 7 or more cards in my graveyard, I can pay a white and tap it, sack it, and get 4 life. Well, I guess that gets me closer to 50, but that's not going to happen. Graveyard Shovel isn't going to be played either. Shimmering Grotto is not going to be played. And let's get these away. Is there a way to hide these in this client? Ooh, there is. That's awesome. I wonder where they go. Oh, they go over here, don't they? Awesome. So let's just hide these. We are not touching them. I'll remember I have this just in case I come across something that gives me like 50 life. So Evil Twin, totally playable. Avacyn's Pilgrim, totally playable if we go green-white. Let's get the Innistrad playables that I know. Prey Upon, totally playable. Ranger's Guide, alright. Gatstaff Shepherd, that's the Intimidate guy. He's definitely playable. Parallel Lives, hide that. Grizzled Outcasts is okay. Somberwald Spider is okay. Rage Thrower, very good. Nearheath Stalker, not really. Rack with Madness is okay-ish. Rolling Tembler is not the one I was thinking of. Riot Devils, Curse of the Pierced Heart, hide that. Deadweight, playable. Altar's Reap, probably playable in this format. Chosen of Markov is alright. Night Terrors, hide that. Grave Purge. Well, who knows? It's a graveyard format thingy. Tribute to Hunger, very playable. Ghoul Razor. Depends on the number of zombies I have. Gruesome Deformity. Gruesome Discovery. There was a lot of gruesome in the Innistrad set. Not playable. Curse of Misfortunes, not playable. Scab Goliath, that's playable. Bone to Ash, that's a counterspell, right? Counter it, draw a card. Stitch Drake, playable. Secrets of the Dead. Maybe playable. Probably don't want to, but maybe playable. Screeching Scab, probably playable. Silent Departure, very playable. Dream Twist, not playable. Sanctuary Cat, not playable. Selfless Cathar is okay. Bonds of Fate is good. Break of Day, no. Gavany Ironright is a 1/4 for 3. That's kind of okay. Lingering Souls, very good. Niblis of the Mist, which one's that? Enters the battlefield, tap it, that's playable. Abbey Griffin is okay. Slayer of the Wicked's pretty good. Thraben Pureblood's not terribly playable. So just on Innistrad cards, we've got white-green, maybe? So let's see. 5/5 Trample for 6. 3 and a green, 2 1/1s. So 4 mana for 2 1/1s. I can flash it back for 2 and pay 3 life to get 2 more 1/1s. No thanks. So wait, what does this one do? That's whenever you cast a spell. Right, I need multiples for that. That's just not happening. 3/3 Pro Black, that could be alright. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you put a card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. So it's a 3/3 with a downside? No thanks. Moment's Peace, prevent all combat damage. So it's a fog with a flashback. Exoskeletal Armor, enchanted creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures in all graveyards. That's potentially playable for 2 mana. It's not great because it's an aura. Chatter of the Squirrel, put a 1/1 squirrel into the battlefield, and then flash it back for 2. I wonder if there's something you can do with squirrels in this format. And let's check out white. No. Revelation is actually in either Innistrad or Dark Ascension, I believe. So kind of funny that we got the Odyssey block version of it. That's sideboard for sure. Shelter. Target creature you control gains pro color. Draw a card. That's decent. It's pretty decent for 2. It's like God's Willing, except draw a card instead of scry a card. Trained Pronghorn. 1 and a white for a 1/1. Discard a card. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Trained Pronghorn. So I guess it's a way to get stuff in your graveyard, perhaps. Pilgrim of Virtue. Pro Black. 3-drop for a 1/3. Sacrifice Pilgrim of Virtue the next time a black source of your choice. Seems pretty narrow. Prismatic Strands. I feel like that's useful somewhere, possibly in Pauper. Prevent all damage that sources of the color of your choice would deal this turn. Flashback. Tap an untapped white creature. So it's got almost a Convoke flashback. That's actually alright as well. Tattoo Ward. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, has pro enchantments. Except for this one, of course. So it's the Prismatic Ward effect. Sacrifice it, destroy target enchantment? No. Aven Trooper. That's really weird art. That's a lot of white space. 1/1 for 4. 1/1 flyer. 2 and a white. Discard a card, and it becomes a 2/4 flyer till end of turn. No. Sphere of Reason. If a blue source would deal, that's too narrow. Border Patrol. 5 mana for a 1/6 Vigilance. Yikes. So the white kind of dried up there. Oh my, what is this? Flash of Insight. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Kind of like Dig Through Time with X, sort of, but you only get one card. And you can flash it back by exiling X blue cards from your graveyard. Well, maybe that's playable. I don't terribly know. Mirror Wall. 3/4. That's decent for a wall. 3/4 for 4 is very decent for a wall. Pay white. It can attack this turn. Well, I'd play that. Skywing Haven, 2/1 for 3 flying, discard a card, return it to your hand. A 2/1 flyer for 3 is fairly okay. Retraced Image, I don't think I've seen a single duplicate card yet, so no. Obsessive Search, draw a card for blue. Madness. So Madness is if you discard this card, you can pay the mana for the Madness cost to cast it instead of putting it into your graveyard card. So basically, if someone were to force me to discard cards, I could say I was going to discard this, pay a blue, and then I think keep it. I think that's how Madness works. I don't terribly know. But that doesn't seem good. That just seems like a waste of a card. Mental Note. That's really entertaining art. I love his little scream there of the ghost taking that scroll out of his head. 1 blue, instant. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Draw a card. So it's, what's it called? It's in Dark Ascension. Maybe it's in Innistrad, actually. Thought Scour? Yeah. That's decent in this format. Coral Net. Enchant green or white creature? No. So blue, white, green are looking decent. What about black? If black is okay, we could go blue-black and have Evil Twin, but we'll see. Ghastly Demise. Destroy target non-black creature if its toughness is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. So I need to use this sooner rather than later. That could be good. I'd have to actually play with it to know. Cabal Ritual. Pay 1 and a black to get 3 black. Seems okay. But if you have Threshold, you actually get 5 black. Could be okay. Mind Burst. Target player discards X cards where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Mind Burst, so it'll be 1. So discard a card for 2? No. Sickening Dreams. As an additional cost to cast Sickening Dreams, discard X cards. Sickening Dreams deals X damage to each creature and each player. Is that okay? That might be okay. I'm not sure. Oh, this is hard to do on the fly. 1 and a black target non-black creature gets -1/-1. Threshold, destroy it. I like that. Crippling Fatigue. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. I like that too. Flashback 1 and a black and pay 3 life. So it looks like there's a cycle of 1 color, pay 3 life flashbacks. Shades Form. 1 black for an aura. Pay a black. This creature gets +1, so it becomes a shade. When the enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control. So it comes back as well. That's an okay enchantment, I think. A Dirty Were-Rat. 2/3 human rat minion for 3 and a black. Pay black, discard a card, regenerate it. As long as 7 or more cards, it gets +2/+2 and can't block. That seems okay. Ear-Splitting Rats. 2 and a 1. A 2/1 for 3 and a black. When it enters the battlefield, each player discards a card, regenerate it. Seems a little bit expensive for a 2/1. Whispering Shade. It has the Shade effect. It's a 1/1 for 4, and it has Swamp Walk. That could be good. I feel like black might be played in this format a lot. 3/3 for 5, Grotesque Hybrid. Whenever it deals damage to a creature, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. So that's kind of what Death Touch was before Death Touch was Death Touch. It's a triggered ability, so it can be responded to, but it stops regeneration. Discard a card. It gains flying and pro green and white until end of turn. That could be okay. What about red? I think red might just be discounted. Dwarven Scorcher, 1/1 for 1. Sacrifice it. Deals 1 damage to target creature. Unless that creature's controller has Dwarven Scorcher. That seems terrible. Barbarian Lunatic, 2/1 for 3. Sack it with some mana cost, and it deals 2 damage to target creature. That's alright. Petravark, 2/2 for 4. Enters the battlefield, exile target land. When it leaves, return that land so it Fiend Hunters a land. Anarchist, return target sorcery card from your graveyard. 3/2 for 5. Soul Gorger Org, a Nightmare Org. 3 red for a 6/6. So 6/6 for 5. I'm betting there's going to be a huge downside for this. Trample, when Soul Gorger Org enters the battlefield, you lose all but 1 life. But I need 50 life for that card. When it leaves the battlefield, you gain life equal to the life you lost when it entered the battlefield. That is awful. I told you there'd be a downside. Gortusk Firebeast. When Gortusk Firebeast enters the battlefield, deals 4 damage to target player for 6 mana. 6 mana for a 2/2 and a 4 damage to a player. Not great. Red is out. Good to know. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The numbers are here. I don't have to count. 7, 7, 7, 6. So that's only 14 playables. I don't know if this would be a 3-color format. I feel like it would be a 2-color format. Maybe it has to be 3-color just because the cards aren't meant to be played with each other. So what's more powerful? I really like Bonds of Faith. I really like Lingering Souls, but it needs the black. I could splash for black. Slayer of the Wicked's good. Gatstaff, Shepherd, Somberwald. This is tough. White, blue, white, green, green, blue. And I think we're going to splash black in for Tribute to Hunger, Lingering Souls, maybe Deadweight. Well, let's see how many creatures I have. Oops, those aren't creatures, those are spells. 4, 4, and 5. So I have more creatures in blue. Let's go through and see other things that I will play if I have to. I don't think there's any other blue I would play actually if I had to. So I think blue just simply has to get the cut. So yeah, let's just cut blue. And let's see what green-white looks like. So Giant Warthog, I'd play it if I had to. Acorn Harvest. What do you do with 1/1 squirrel tokens on turn 4 and later? Not even sure. Far Wanderings. I didn't even see that card. Search for basic land, battlefield tapped. If you have Threshold, you can search your library for 3 basics and put 1 of them. Wait, what? Search your library for up to and put them. Okay, yeah, so you get all 3 onto the battlefield. That's alright. It'll help me cast my Giant Warthog, I suppose. And actually would really help a splash. So yeah, I'd play that. Anurid Scavenger. If I'm green-white, I'm not really flashing back anything. And my threshold is that one. And I guess that one's kind of wanting stuff in the graveyard. So I don't know if I'd play that. Moment's Peace, no. Chatter of the Squirrel. I guess a 1/1 on 1. No, a 1/1 on 1 is never okay. What am I saying? Unless it has a huge upside, which a squirrel does not. Let's see. Gavany Ironright, I would play. 1/3 Pro Black for 3. I don't like the 1 on it. Prismatic Strands, I'd play. Oops, let's get this blue out of here. And then I think black will be a splash for not that. And yeah, maybe for those 3. So let's get that out and get that out and that out. So that's 21 cards. I need 2 more, and they really need to be creatures, and then I need to find some more creatures somewhere. I guess I could enchant him up with that green enchantment, but I'm not going to have that many creatures in the graveyard. No, I don't think Aven Trooper is okay. Well, let's just briefly build the black-blue deck over here. Fine, over here it'll be easier. So what was in the black-blue deck? That was zombie. Probably not Ghoul Raiser. Crippling Fatigue was in. Chosen can be in. Cabal Ritual can be in if need be. Altar's Reap can go in. And then we had Departure, Scab, Skywing Aven, Stitch Drake, Mirror Wall, Scab Goliath. I would actually probably put in Sickening Dreams just to turn on my zombies over here. So actually, I do have a lot of blue zombies. So Ghoul Raiser returns to hand. Yeah, let's put Ghoul Raiser in. Maybe black-blue is the way to go. I'll build both decks. Let's do that. So let's move all of these over here. Let's ungroup. Come on. You're all gonna just sort back in, aren't you? Ah, excellent. Good stuff. So let's sort by CMC. So we're at 21, and we've got 12 creatures. What can we do about that? Not much. We're kind of out of white and black cards here. What do I have hidden? Did I hide anything that maybe I shouldn't have? Gruesome Discovery. Nah. Nope. Nope, I did not. So I guess I'm still short creatures, aren't I? Is Coral Net a creature? Nope. So there's just literally no other black or blue creatures here. So that's unfortunate. I need 2 more cards for this deck to be kind of a deck. I guess at 12 creatures I might be a bit more controlling, so Bone Dash could go in, arguably. I've got a low enough curve, I would probably play 17 lands. So maybe Mental Note's good. And then let's add some basic lands. 10-7? Sure. So there we go. We have a black-blue deck built using the one single usable rare that I got out of this pool. So what we want to do here is we want to save this deck. We want to save this deck as Special Sealed SO1. And we'll say blue. So there we go. So that deck is now saved. So with the 8 minutes left, we are going to throw all this away. We're going to throw all that up here. And we're going to take all these lands. And we're going to throw them up there. We're going to grab these ones that we were fooling around with and put them down here. Sort them by CMC. And then what we were doing, we were splashing black here, weren't we? Yeah, we were. And there's so few creatures, I just don't know if I can even do this. I guess we'd have to play him. Maybe we'd have to play the Purebloods. Even if he was a 2-1, I'd play him, but not as a 1-1 for 4. Herg. 12 creatures. And as green-white, well, Lingering Souls is a creature, so that's 13 creatures, essentially. Well, it could be 4 1-1, so let's count that as 2 creatures. That is 14. Let's do the black splash that we were thinking of. Let's go tribute. Was it Toxic Stench? No. Well, yeah, I think it was Toxic Stench. And that's 22. I wish I had one more creature. Border Patrol? No, I don't want to play you. I really don't want to play you. Because you have to pay 3 mana and discard a card just to get that 1 extra power through. Doesn't seem worth it. So I could splash a black creature, but that doesn't seem great. Let's go with the Pilgrim, I suppose. So there's 23. So let's add basic lands. 8/7/2. Sounds good. And there's our other deck. I think this is going to be our backup deck. I think I like the blue-black deck a little bit better. So we're going to save this as SO2, and that is our white deck. So let's save that, jump back. And now all we have to do is go load deck, S1, and there's that first deck that we built. And this is the one that I think we're going to lead with. This is a weird format, but hey, that's what Wacky Wednesday is for. And I play these so that you don't necessarily have to. Although I bet that this format, if you don't get 5 unplayable rares like I did, might actually be a pretty fun format. But we're going to submit this, and I will see you guys for round 1.